Herbert is one of the working names of English electronic musician Matthew Herbert. He has also recorded under the names Dr. Rocket, Radio Boy, Mr. Vertigo, Transformer, Wish Mountain, Matthew Herbert, and Matthew Herbert's Big Band. He's also known for using sounds of everyday objects in his music. His first album was released in 1996 under the name Herbert. There have been 8 more under the name Herbert. Most recent was in 2021. He's also released 14 as Matthew Herbert, 3 as Dr. Rocket, 3 as Matthew Herbert's Big Band, and 2 as Radio Boy and 2 as Wish Mountain. He's also released a larger number of EPs than LPs, I believe. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is my first encounter with Herbert, and I'm not going to try and work out what album number this is of his because it's too complicated. I am going to describe this though as electronic, possibly semi-ambient. It's definitely got grooves with changes going through it. But there's some interesting things going here. He's using domestic sounds, particularly in the percussion. And I think it's obviously deliberately chosen things that kind of reflect some of the percussive sounds you get in other stuff. So kind of high level tinky sounds and kind of lower bassy sounds and stuff. There's also in here some real instruments though. There's quite a bit of bass and keyboards. There's actually some really nice bass playing in here. And also the singing by vocalist Danny Siciliano. So most of the singing's quite limited phrases. There are some bits where it's more extended words. Most of it's got lots of repeating going on. There's one bit where it's actually quite looped and it's taking the start of a phrase and is making it go round and round before it kind of releases it and does the end bit. And in terms of the words, I would say it's not about very much. It's there as a kind of focus for attention. It obeys what I call the binary rule of electronic music, which is you make changes, but you make changes after 2 bars, 4 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars, things that are actually multiples of, not multiples, powers of 2. And that seems to be very, very strongly adhered to in electronic music. A lot of it is a very similar pace. Sometimes it's kind of swung, which means it's not a straight boom, boom. It's kind of a boom, 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 boom. It's kind of got a yeah, I'm not going to describe it better than that, so let's move on. I think that there are some paces that work particularly well, some speeds for music. Well, I don't know if that's just me, and that they work for me particularly either in terms of the size of me for thinking about dancing, kind of bopping along, or if it's something that resonates with other people as well. But I think that the pace that is used quite predominantly through this album is one that I like and works well. A couple of tracks have got more kind of sort of like the first track is more like an ambient recording in a house and not really a song. I think it sounds like it's been constructed and it's a conceit rather than it's actually just live recording from something that's happening in the home. But it feels, it's got a reasonable amount of realism to it. One of them has what sounds similar to that, but it's got, whilst other music's going on the beat, and it sounds like it's been manipulated so the things that are happening are in time to the music, particularly. I don't know if that's the case or if it was just done, if that was happenstance that it kind of works with the speed of the music. So there's some description. I quite like a reasonable amount of electronica, especially stuff that isn't hip hop based. I seem to especially like British electronica. I don't know why that might be the case. And this, I do like this. There's some nice grooves. It's fairly backgroundy, which is why I said semi-ambient. It's also got that kind of ambient thing of the slow changes as it goes through. I think it's an interesting premise using sounds picked up from around the house. It definitely makes it work. It's kind of, you wouldn't just pick up any sound and make it. There's some skill in putting this together and making it music, which it definitely is. There's some nice rhythms. Some of the kind of grooves that are going got some nice kind of, yeah, kind of not quite trap light stuff, but some kind of fast stuff going on. And as I say, I like some of the bass work in here. So I enjoyed this album, actually. It was an interesting album and it's a nice bit of electronica. So I just want to throw in a kind of meta comment here, which is that I often record these reviews in small batches. And tonight I'm recording three. And the three that I'm recording tonight are Johnny Cash, Graham Parker and the Rumour, and now Herbert. And I'm just struck, once again, as I often am, at the diversity of music that I'm meeting as I go through this list. So this is a good thing. Yay. All right. So I like this album. I'd love to know what you think of this album. So please do leave a comment. And that's it from me for now.